Great. Thank you so much for joining us today in this special webinar on guiding your child to college success. I am thrilled to see so many parents and families here, all of you being committed to helping your children on this journey to their higher education. To make this session more interactive and engaging, I highly encourage you to be on video and let's move on. So for all those who are seeing me for the first time, so I am Radhika Raghuraman. I am a financial professional and I'm a part of a very experienced team who has helped more than 25,000 families to achieve their financial goals. Some of the key areas where we help are retirement planning, tax saving strategies, legacy planning, estate planning, college funds accumulation for the kids, and also protecting the hard-earned money. I am passionate about helping families plan for their children's future, not just financially, but also with the right guidance, tools, and strategies. We here strongly believe that information is the best wealth that can be shared with everyone. College planning in general can be very overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. That is why today's session is all about giving you the insights that can make a real difference. We have a truly special guest with us today, someone who brings a wealth of experience and heart for helping students succeed. I am privileged to introduce Sowmya Athreya, the founder of Goal Admit, a college consulting company dedicated to helping students find and gain admissions to their best fit colleges. Sowmya has guided countless students through this competitive and challenging admissions process by helping them stand out, stay focused, and ultimately succeed. So her approach is thoughtful, strategic, and student-centered, which is exactly what we will be discussing in today's session. Now, this presentation specifically has been structured in such a way that whether you are a parent of a middle school, elementary, or a high school, or even a college, a person who wants to go to college, right? So irrespective of that, you will have some meaningful or significant takeaways from this presentation. So during this session, I know many of you would have so many questions and we would love to get them answered when we open up for the Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So please mark all your questions and have them ready. So now let's dive in. Over to you, Sowmya, and thank you for being here with us today.
Hi, Radhika. Thank you so much for having me as a speaker on your webinar. It's my privilege and honor to be here today. Thanks to everyone who's also attending this webinar today. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. About me, I have over a decade of experience in college admissions, starting with when my own two boys were going through the process. I actually have 20 plus years as a hardware engineer and a semiconductor professional. I started college admissions formally a couple of years ago after informally assisting many families. For the past year, Goal Admit College Admissions Consulting has been honored to work with a number of talented students. We've had admits to Cornell, UCLA, Berkeley, UMich, UIUC, and many more. I'm going to provide a lot of information in today's session. The agenda is first I'll cover why hire a college admissions consultant at all, how to choose a college admissions consultant, what is the timeline for the college admissions process. I'll cover middle school, elementary, middle school, and high school. What makes a great college application, how to help the students stand out. I have some elementary and middle school tips as well for the younger student parents. I have some general habits that will help. We'll cover a bit of the cost of college and how to prepare to pay, and Radhika will help present part of that. And then we'll conclude with key takeaways, and then we'll have a Q&A. So as Radhika mentioned, please take a note of your questions, and I'd be very happy to answer any questions at the end of the session. Let's start with why hire a college admissions consultant? So many of us are immigrants. We're not familiar with the US college admissions process. The process is actually complicated, and each college has different requirements. And we see this every day in school with our children. The competition is fierce, with the number of overachieving applicants increasing every year and the acceptance rates in colleges declining every year. There are so many options. How do we choose what is a reach school, what is a target school, what major do we pick for each college? Applying strategically is very, very important considering the declining acceptance rates. Parents may not have time to research colleges and help with the application. Kids may not be naturally organized. They may need help meeting deadlines. My older son was like that. Kids may need help with writing the essays. What is important to highlight? How do you craft the best essay? And how do you stick to the word count without losing the essence of the essay, right? And I mean, it was true in our family too. Kids may not accept parental inputs that easily. For the cost of hiring a consultant is actually a fraction of the total cost of college, and it would be a sound investment if you find the right college admissions consultant. So, how do we choose the right college admissions consultant? First, decide if you want a big firm or a boutique. For the big firm, they have more experience, probably. They have established processes. For the boutique, you'll get individualized personal attention and no group sessions. Questions to ask a big firm. Will I be working with a single consultant throughout? Are there group sessions for the essay reviews? Do you provide committee reviews of the application? Questions to ask a boutique firm. How many on the team? How many students will you be taking on? Do you have references? Some common questions to ask. Are the meetings in person? How often would we meet? What services are covered? How many colleges will you help with for this price? Further questions to ask, do you offer any SAT, ACT prep or tutoring? Are parents allowed to attend the meetings? Do you have any accreditations? And do you offer any guarantees? And this last question, it's actually, I think it's a trick question because the college admissions decision process is so random. It's just not possible to offer any guarantees. So I would really question it if somebody told you, you know, our company can get you into this college, or we can guarantee you an IV admission. The timeline for the college admissions process, I'll start with elementary school. EC stand for extracurriculars. In elementary school is where I suggest exploring, having your student explore various extracurriculars, music, art, sports. This is the time to explore what they are interested in and find their passion, and encourage them to read for fun. In middle school, continue or explore new ECs, plan out math and language pathways. This is important basically because what level of math or foreign language you get to in high school is determined by what courses you select in middle school. Inculcate good academic habits. Again, read for fun. Plan out the high school coursework at the end of 8th grade, balancing rigor with what is necessary to challenge your student. In 9th grade is when, if you know, my younger son, by the time he was in 8th grade, he said, I want to be a software engineer. So some kids just know immediately what they want to do. But if your student does not know that, then 9th grade is probably the year to actually narrow down the field of study so that you can build a narrative for the college admission application. Show progression and leadership in ECs. This is where you actually get more deeply involved in all your extracurriculars. After ninth grade is when the summer programs become very important because you need to show to colleges that you've been productive during your summers. Join high school clubs, not related to your major, but if you have other passions and interests, that's totally fine as well. Uh, Try to find a unique interest to stand out. There are so many uh, high stats kids. How do we have like a unique interest to make us stand out in the sea of applicants? And watch the GPA. For 10th grade and sophomore year, depending on the math level, you could already be ready to take the SAT or the ACT. Taking it early in 10th grade means you're like done with it and you can focus on school in 11th grade. But if you don't have the math level yet, it's best to wait and take it in 11th grade. Take the maximum allowed APs and honors courses. Of course, you have to balance rigor with doing well because you have to watch the GPA. Apply for competitive and meaningful summer programs. Try to advance to leadership positions in clubs. Like, my kids were the captain of their quiz bowl team, or my younger son was the business lead of the robotics team. Earn awards in club activities or external competition. This is important because the college application has an awards and honors section, and it would be nice to have at least a couple of things to write over there. And of course, the national level awards are more valued than the state level, the regional, but even school level awards are actually significant for the college application. And interview and finalize a college admissions consultant. I mean, I have many clients who are ninth grade kids. So some parents start early, but the optimal time to actually hire a college consultant, in my opinion, is in sophomore year. Watch the GPA again. In 11th grade, prepare for and take the SAT, ACT. You may be taking it again as well to improve your score. Take the maximum allowed AP honors courses again. Rigor is so important. And get external tutoring if you need help, because we really need to watch the GPA. Create a preliminary college list. This is just the informal, where would you like to go kind of list that you would create amongst yourselves in the family. Apply for competitive and meaningful summer programs again. Approach teachers for letters of recommendation. Ideally, this is done March, April of junior year. You identify a couple of junior year teachers to actually ask them if they'd be willing to write letters of recommendation for you for college. And watch the GPA again. For final senior year, this is where you finalize the college list, and ideally you complete 80% of the essays in the summer between junior and senior year. Track the deadlines for application, early decision, early action, regular decision dates are all different. Scholarship dates are different. Keep track of the recommendation letters and the school counselor report dates. Attend all school information sessions, because each high school, the process varies for what the high school requires the student to do in order to facilitate the college application process. And temper your expectations. It's great to have a dream college, aim high, but be realistic in your expectations so you don't get all stressed out and you don't get devastated if something doesn't work out eventually. And maintain the rigor and watch the GPA. What makes a great college application? I've repeated watch the GPA in each of the high school years. This is probably the single most important aspect of college applications, because some colleges get like tens of thousands of applicants and they use like their own filters for the GPA. So your student may not even have their application read if they don't pass the cutoff. And colleges don't like to see all A's with just easy courses, so they watch for the rigor as well. So that's why the number of EP and honors courses that you take is important. Show passion for your interest, passion for what you want to study. Try to develop a unique hook. Some examples of unique hooks amongst my clients. For example, I had one computer science student who was very much into weightlifting. I had another client who liked fishing. So this is basically how to kind of stand out. Like if everybody in your class is doing the chess club, maybe golf is more interesting and will make you stand out. As I had mentioned earlier, develop the awards and the honors that you can list in the application. And community service. Now, this one is very, very important, especially for the top colleges, for the Ivy Leagues. They want to see the selfless student in their campus, the one who actually helped underrepresented students, who helped provide some impact in their local or regional or state communities. So community service, even if it's not a graduation requirement at your high school, this is really important for colleges, especially for the top colleges. And leadership. Colleges want to see the captain, because it shows progression of the EC as well as your own growth. If you are a captain or a leader in a club. So leadership is very important as well. And weave it all together through genuine, well-written essays to tell the admissions officers your story. Like, why you? Why should they pick you? How many of you are parents of elementary or middle school kids? Raise your hand or let us know if you have an elementary or middle school kid. Okay, I have some tips for the elementary and middle school students as well. Instill a love of reading. So reading is so important because this will help with doing well in the classes. It will help later with the SAT, ACT, and it would also help with the college application essays. Library books in your local library can help evaluate and improve the reading levels. So you can track the reading levels of your child. Allow your child to explore varied interests. Decide on a couple of, try to narrow down to a 2-3 extracurriculars to stick with throughout high school, because depth is a lot more important than breadth. Start planning high school coursework in math and language pathways in 7th grade. So you kind of have an idea of like where you'll end up at the highest level in high school. And give your kids plenty of free time. Don't overschedule them, because leaving their minds free to enjoy actually relieves stress as well. And encourage unusual interests. If your child is interested in, say, stamp collecting, don't push it off and say, oh, CS students have to do only robotics, because that unusual interest could be the unique hook which is needed for the college application. And general habits that will help. And I find that these are true for adults also, not just kids. It's better for us to learn organizational skills, keep a tidy desk, use a daily planner, and don't postpone or procrastinate. Make sure your students complete homework assignments ahead of time so there's no last minute rush. Enhance reading comprehension skills by reading for fun. I say this again and again. Do group projects to learn collaboration skills. Try to take the tougher English classes to hone the writing skills early. You will need it for the college essays. Try to figure out how to do time management, allocate time for each subject. So, my older son would take 3 hours to do a AP US history assignment, and then he'd be like staying awake the rest of the night to finish all the other subjects. And this is my philosophy, to get the tougher task first out of the way, so then I can focus on what is easier to do. Cost of college and how to prepare. These are just rough numbers based on like the current situation. Obviously, expect tuition to increase in the future and account for inflation as well. In-state tuition right now in a California public school is around 35,000. My younger son just finished at Berkeley, actually. So I know this personally. I'm based in California, and he went to a local public university. Out-of-state tuition at a public university is currently 50 to 80K. UC Davis, I think, is like 85,000 right now for out-of-state. Private colleges cost between 70K and 100K. So USC, Vanderbilt, and New York University are hitting the 100K mark right now and expected to increase in the future for sure. Start a college fund like 529 early. Target at least in-state tuition for 4 years by the time they reach 12th grade. Explore scholarship options early if you're eligible. There are these forms called FAFSA and CSS. These have variable deadlines for each college, so keep track of that. And merit-based aid is only given to the top-tier candidates. Like for some of my clients, they did not even apply for financial aid, but colleges really wanted them to join the college, so they actually offered them merit aid to try to attract them to get in. That's the ideal situation to be in, where the college actually offers you money to join them. For further insights on how to prepare to pay for college, I'll hand it over to Radhika, who's the financial services expert. Radhika?
Thank you, Sowmya. So far, we saw how to, Sowmya gave us so many insights on how to guide our child through their academic journey, right? So it is also equally essential or important to be prepared for the financial part as well. I'm sure most of you would agree. So in general, when we think about planning for our kids' college expenses, the one common thing that comes to our mind is the 529 plan. So in most cases, one plan doesn't fit all needs, right? Every family is different. So their financial strategy also should be different. So which is why today we will see another vehicle, which is the Indexed Universal Life 7702 plan, that can also help to plan the college expenses for your kids. Now here we will take a look at the key highlights of both the plans and see how they compare with each other. Okay, so first is the purpose. So as we all know, the funds that we accumulate in our 529 plan are most advantaged when we use it for the education purposes, right? But think about it. What if there is an emergency or you want to take that fund out for some other purposes other than education? So then there are some constraints or penalties or taxes that you might incur. Whereas in the 7702 plan, irrespective of what the expense is, you will be able to use the funds for any purposes, be it education or any other investments or the income protection or wealth, whatever be it, it's more versatile. Now coming to the market fluctuations. In general, we know the 529 assets, how we manage them internally for their growth is based on the market. Right. And recently we are seeing how market is very unpredictable and it can be the same way at any point of time. Right. So how to protect? What if when our kid is going to college at that time, the market is not doing fine. Right. So we will lose our growth. So whereas in the 7702 plan, here it not only offers a proportionate growth when the market performs well, but it also gives you the growth and principal protection when the market is not performing good. So that's another advantage that you see there. And then next up, coming to the next point, which is the taxation on withdrawals. So as we all know, 529, the funds that you accumulate in a 529, they are tax-free withdrawals as long as you use it for qualified education expenses. And another thing, in some states, we all know that the contributions that you make to the 529 also count towards the state tax deductions. But unfortunately, in California, that's not the case. Whereas in the 7702 plan, the withdrawals, irrespective of what is the expense that you are using it for, it's always tax-free withdrawals. Finally, where we see about the assets for financial aid. So 529 asset, there is a possibility that it could be considered as an asset and it may impact the financial aid. Again, there are a lot of nuances on who owns the asset and so on and so forth. Whereas the 7702 plan, you need not declare it as an asset and it will not impact your financial aid. So I know given the time constraints, we only shared a very high level overview of what is that alternative plan that we offer in our platform. So I highly encourage you all to reach out to us for a free one-on-one session so that we can explain more about the solution and see how personalized this plan could fit your goals or needs. So with that being said, I am handing it back to you, Sowmya.
Thanks, Radhika. So some of the key takeaways from today's presentation: reasonably priced college admission consultants are an asset and an investment in your child's future. Start early for the extracurriculars because depth matters more than breadth. Aim to show progression and accomplishment through leadership positions and awards and honors. And most importantly, stay calm and find ways to de-stress. Remember, where you go to college does not define who you are. Aim for the top, but have realistic expectations. And check www.goaladmit.com. We have useful blogs, contact and pricing information, and we promise personalized, well-researched advice on all aspects of college admission. And there is a free exploratory meeting as well. So sign up for a free meeting anytime. The contact information is on the website. Thank you very much for listening to the presentation. Thanks, Radhika, again for having me as a speaker. Please let us know if you found this webinar helpful and if there was any other topic that you would have liked to see covered. Now we can open up the session to questions.
Yeah, thank you, Sowmya.